Avoid these NFT scams at all cost. What's up, everybody? This is Omari, and this is Social Token News, the number one place to find news and updates on anything social tokens and NFTs in Web3. All right, so if you're not subscribed already, click that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you get updates on every new video from us. So how do you avoid NFT scams? A lot of times people just throw out that word when it comes to NFTs because they don't even really know what NFTs are. So anything surrounding NFTs is a scam or it's a pyramid scheme or something like that. I want to be very clear, not every NFT collection is a scam at all. However, at the same time, a lot of the collections that came out within the past year or two really didn't have any value ascribed to them because people were just using it as a money grab. They knew that it was a big headline in the news. They knew there was a lot of money printed in 2020 and 2021. So they were trying to get their hands on as much money as possible, which, does lead to some bad projects. But this can be said about a lot of industries. You can find bad actors in a lot of different industries. So what is the real purpose behind all this? It's really to find, how do you have good discernment in any field that you're going to go into? So you can honestly take these principles and apply them to other fields. But for this video, I'm going to go specifically over the NFTs. How do I avoid scams and follow pretty much the number one rule in crypto is do your own research. All right. So how do I do research? How do I do good research on NFT projects? I'm going to give you guys some tips you may not find in other videos. So we're going to go a little bit in depth, and I'll give you some general tips too. But the first one, if an NFT project is tied to a real asset, look at the multiple they're charging. I'll go over what I mean by that. And it's going to be a lot of math, so feel free to pause this and rewind and watch it again. So let's take a NFT that is tied to tickets, for instance. Let's say that, there's a entrepreneur or business owner that says, this NFT will get you into this conference for the next year, or the next 2 years or 3 years, whatever. Look at the multiple that's being charged on that NFT. So if tickets is the only benefit that you get with that NFT, what do the tickets normally cost? And then what's the multiple being charged on this NFT collection? So if the multiple gets anywhere, what I've seen my personal research, if the multiple gets anywhere near like a 20x of what the actual asset is worth, I'm not going to buy it because that's probably near the top. That's usually you're getting towards, that ceiling area where that price is actually going to go, and people who would buy it are typically not going to be people who are bad with money. It's usually people who are like, they want a good deal on a good asset. And at that point, it's just not a good deal anymore. So if a ticket usually costs $500 or $1,000 and this NFT is going for 20 grand, excuse me, this NFT is going for 20 grand. It's probably getting to that point that it's beyond its use case, at least in the NFT world. Like you can find some companies in different markets that are, doing 20x of their revenue. And then for whatever odd reason, people just keep putting money in. So even in the other markets, like I said, we're not giving out financial advice, but even in other markets, like you got to watch out at that level. But you also have to look at, with NFTs, what's the potential of this project? What can this entrepreneur, what can this business do to add value onto this? So that might be that, all right, this ticket NFT for this conference or whatever, maybe it's going at a 5x multiple or a 10x multiple, but this entrepreneur business is known to add value to their products and services. So that could be that they give out a free course 3 months from now, from the time you bought the NFT, that makes the value of the NFT actually go up. It could be that they do extra meet and greets. It could be that they have a Discord where they're giving out the best tips in the world. Like there could be a lot of things you can add value with down the line to NFTs. So look at that multiple, see what they're charging on it, and make your own decision. Make your own decision if you think this is overvalued, undervalued, because you can find some really good deals. Like if something's going for a low multiple of what the real going rate is with the underlying asset tied to it, or underlying product or service, then that might be a good pickup. And especially in a bear market, you might find some really good finds because people are afraid to put money into things, and you might find one that is backed by a good CEO, good company, and you can hold on to it for a few years, and you'll find that if they keep doing what they're supposed to be doing as a business, then you'll be in good graces with that. Next tip we have, we'll go with a more basic one, but never give away your seed phrase to anyone. All right, so your seed phrase is what you're going to use whenever you open up a digital wallet. So it could be a Coinbase wallet, could be a MetaMask wallet, Crypto.com wallet. Anytime you open up a wallet, it's going to give you, I think it's 12 words. It'll be random words. Most of the time it's 12, but it'll be like random words that don't really have any connection with each other. And it's up to you to keep these in a safe place. People are not going to ask for this. So if you call support or you're talking to anybody else online, if anybody asks for your seed phrase, it's a scammer. So never give out your seed phrase to anybody. This phrase is what's going to be the thing to allow you back into your wallet if you lose your password or something like that. So you have to keep your seed phrase in a safe place. Optimally, you keep it offline. You write it down on a piece of paper. Keep it with your important documents in a place offline. Maybe one person or two people, the executor of your will maybe knows about where this is, or just knows where your important documents are. And obviously your spouse. But other than that, there really doesn't need to be anybody that's knowing about where your seed phrase is. Just the people who would be, like I said, executor of your will, so they can distribute the funds. Obviously somebody you trust highly, that has legal privilege in that area, or obviously your spouse has legal privilege over a lot of your assets. So that would be the advice for your seed phrase. Next on our list, this can be overarching for pretty much any project you go into, but don't put money into things you don't understand. So just because people say that a Bored Ape is worth XYZ amount of money, if you still don't understand why a Bored Ape is worth that much money, just don't put money into it. It's better to do nothing than to put all this money into some asset or some coin or some stock or whatever, and you really don't understand it. Like, even though Bitcoin was a good price at $500 a coin, it would be a bad buy if you did not really understand what Bitcoin is. So I'm not saying you have to be an expert. You don't have to be like the highest level expert before you buy something. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying once you understand it enough that you can explain it to someone. Let's say that Bitcoin was at $100, $500, whatever, and you can explain that to somebody of why you believe Bitcoin is a good buy. Then by all means, buy it. That is doing your own research, which ties into my next point, but those two tie together. Only put money in things you understand and do your own research. I remember back in 2017, whenever the crypto was first booming, that I bought Ethereum just because I thought the name sounded cool. I had no idea what it did. And because I didn't know what it did, later on in 2020, like early 2020, I was, going through Dave Ramsey. I was getting rid of a lot of debt, and I just remembered, hey, I have that one random, I think it's Coinbase. I have that, there's these coins in there that I don't even know what they do. So I sold it. I sold it right at the beginning of 2020, or it was somewhere in 2020, right before the boom. It had to be the day, the day before it boomed. I sold my Ethereum. Sold my Bitcoin, and that was a lesson I had to learn. Now, luckily, it wasn't more than it was not a lot of money, but it still hurt. It still would have been up a good bit on even the little bit I bought. It's nice to be up. and what you bought. So if I had known what I bought, I probably would have held on to it a lot longer. Something I really believed in. Like, obviously, I own a business, right? I don't just sell my stake in my business because I know my business very well. If, there's different types of businesses, but mine, I don't sell my stake in my business because I understand the ramifications of that. And so, lastly, the last one we'll go over, never click random links on Discord or Twitter or your email or anything. Only click links from trusted companies, trusted sources. Why? Because there's scammers out there who they'll trick you into giving out your seed phrase. They'll trick you into, clicking these malicious links that they'll say, I'm giving out free Bitcoin to everybody. Look, the days where people are giving out significant free Bitcoin are definitely done. Back in, 7 years ago, you could find giveaways where people were actually giving out Bitcoin. They were giving out 100 free Bitcoin. And today, obviously, you'd be very hard pressed to find that because that's worth way more money. So if there's any random DM you get on any social media or email or whatever, just don't click on it. It needs to be a trusted source. It might be a newsletter that you signed up for that will have official links to something. It might be somebody having an NFT drop. You signed up for it. Obviously, yes, you can click those links from the verified sources. But if it's just some random person, go check them out. Do your research. Go look at their social medias. Go look into their company, because there's even good projects that have went down in flames. We all saw what happened to Luna. There's some projects that were notable that still could go down. There's any stock, any crypto, any NFT collection has the potential of going down to zero. So always do your own research. Make sure you trust the project. Make sure you trust the founders. If you ask good questions and you don't get good answers, not just answers you don't have to like the answer, just as long as the answer is a good one and it's well thought through, then you have a better chance of making sound decisions. So hope this was helpful, guys. The biggest NFT scams to avoid: do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment. Let us know if you think there are other scams that people should avoid. Help each other out in the comments. Point out scammers. If you got scammed by somebody, point them out, and we will help each other out in that way. So I will catch you guys in the next video.